Hey guys, Kaylin here with Landmark Makers. We are a full service recruiting firm based out of San Diego dedicated to high growth companies. So we are in week 2 of a 9-week series where we are giving back to our clients through educational series that are relevant to a high growth company. And one question we've been getting a lot of is, how do we leverage social media to help us with our talent strategy? So this week's series, hashtag fun, hashtag happy hiring, hashtag always ready, coming at you, social media recruiting. Why do we want to do this? That might be the first question we should ask ourselves. And the biggest answer to that is because it gives us a much more intimate, much more relatable conversation with a passive candidate. Again, a passive candidate is somebody who they're relatively happy where they're working, but they feel they could potentially be happier. And so should anything happen in their organization or should anything change overnight, they need an idea of where they want to apply to next. And why not let your organization be that next company? You can do this through social media. So it is going to increase your ROI. It's going to develop deeper relationships with passive candidates. It'll help you build out your bench. And it also gives you access to candidates that you wouldn't ordinarily have access to. So the question becomes, how do you do it? Well, the Human Capital Institute came up with 7 brilliant questions that every high growth company needs to ask themselves to get their talent in alignment. So I'm going to read those to you real quickly. Have the answer to these questions before you start social media recruiting, okay? All right, we're good. First question, what is your company's overall goals? Have you thought about this in depth with every key manager in your team? What does your workforce plan look like in relationship to those goals? If you want to break into a new account, maybe an account that can double your revenue, do you have the talent strategies in place when you land that account? Do you have talent gaps that will keep you from getting to that account? What kinds of technology, what types of social media are attractive to your type of candidates? Maybe your candidate pool actively uses Twitter instead of Instagram. Maybe your company, your candidates tend to be on Facebook. Maybe you're more of a business-to-business type relationship, so most of your candidates are going to be on LinkedIn. Do you have these answers? Do you know what's going to appeal to them? What level of resource commitment do you have? This isn't just money, folks. This is time. This is energy. This is a team-like approach to it. This is on board from all of the different managers involved in the hiring process up to and including the CEO. How will you keep your content fresh? Do you have a social media manager to help you come up with new and inspiring content? Do you have a content writer to help aid with that person? These are great questions. And then lastly, when do you start? Well, as soon as you have those questions answered is when you start. Then the next thing you need to think about is, how do you start? And really, there's a couple key things you can do. You can create a plan. I know it sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how many of these high growth companies just jump straight in without having an actual plan. You need to identify all the sites you want to use for social media and the tools in which you will plan on using it. You need to check yourself. Literally, check yourself. Google yourself. What are your customers saying about you? What are your clients saying about you? What are the people who work for you saying about you, or the people who used to work for you saying about you? What are the people who want to work with, for, and understand more about you saying? When you have the answers to all of this, you're able to develop a plan to be in a proactive stance against whatever they're saying, positive or negative. So if somebody says something negative about you online, the best thing you can do is proactively responding by having a list of 20 more positive things than negative, for example. These are all things that you should get on doing. Have somebody on your team dedicated to going through Yelp, going through Glassdoor, checking out what people on your Facebook page are saying about you. Make sure you're proactive. Lastly, once you get a couple of people that you're really excited about hiring, maybe you don't have space for hiring them. We personally here at Landmark Makers recommend that for every position you would like to hire for, have 15 candidates on your virtual bench. These passive candidates may not be interested in another 6 months, but every month, multiple times a month, like what they share, retweet what they share, double tap what they share, have something in common with them. When you post an article you think they're interested in, we've hinted to this earlier, email it to them. Make sure if they leave a comment on any of your pages, you are responding to that comment. Make them feel very valued, because you don't know what's going to happen in their company, and when it does, you want to be front of mind. So make sure, don't just get on social media, blast out your job advertisement, and hope it all goes well. Get engaged on social media. This is really what you need to continue your high growth. All right, guys, we will see you next week with another great edition of Giving Back to Our Clients. So, Landmark Makers, Kaylin here, signing out. Happy hiring.